So, word of warning for you, this video is probably going to be a little bit of a mess. So, if you really love to jerk off to the Iman Gadzhi super high quality edited and lighted videos, then this probably ain't the one for you, not going to lie, because I've done zero prep. I've just got a blank Google Doc and I've got YouTube open, and I'm going to show you how you can sign your next agency, freelancer, growth operator, growth partner, info product operator, manager, school community manager, client in the next. I don't know what you guys call yourself these days, but I'm going to show you how you sign the next client in the next 48 hours. And I'm going to show you actually the strategy that I would do today is actually the strategy I used like 3-4 years ago when I signed what I would call like my first high quality client. Because I got, right, just before we get into it, I got an email the other day from a guy asking, and this guy called Miguel, seems like a super nice guy. So I'm kind of throwing him under the bus a little bit here. But he emailed me being like, oh, I'm interested in, I want to start an agency. I want to move away from freelancing. How do you sign clients, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of outlined the strategy, kind of similar to what I'm going to show you in the video. And his response was like, oh, how many DMs do I have to send? Is there a chance to automate it? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, this is the problem with the industry and people doing outreach. Before he's even started, he's looking at the end game, right? How many DMs do I have to send? For what? Get 1 client, 10 clients, 100 clients to build a business? Like, what do you mean? How many DMs you have to send? My answer to him was, as many DMs as you need to sign the amount of clients that you want, right? That's not a good question to be starting. If you're starting off your outreach with, oh, how many DMs do I have to send total? Then that's not a good mindset to have. So number 1, bad mindset. Number 2, can I automate it? No. Okay? In the info product space, if you want to work with the best clients, hate to break it to you, but you're going to have to do some personalized outreach. Unless, caveat, you've got like some incredible case studies, you're like a big agency name in the space, you've got freaking Tony Robbins giving you a testimonial, then maybe you can do automated outreach because you've got the credibility and the positioning in the space. But the reality is, myself and you guys watching, we don't have that, right? We might have, you know what, I'm going to give props to myself a little bit. I have it a little bit in my specific niche for my agency, but in the grand things of like info products, absolutely not, right? So we got to find a smarter way to do outreach to increase the number of replies that we get and the amount of clients that we sign. So you need to do personalized outreach. So I'm going to show you how to do it in this video. So got YouTube open. Oh, look at this handsome guy here. You know what? I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm always like, whenever like anyone on like YouTube or, social media who I follow, they pull up like the home screen or something like that. I'm always like super nosy about like, what is their search history? Pornhub. Oh, that shouldn't be there, right? I don't know about that. I don't know what this says about me. We've got a guy called Liam here, the second best Liam in the AI automation space. India Got Talent. Really don't know what I've been searching to get that on my newsfeed. Newsfeed? It's not a newsfeed, is it? I don't even know what you call this. Home screen. Fred again, Rooftop Live. Probably a banger. Haven't watched it though. Love a bit of UFC. Got Ben Heath here, who obviously just copies all my YouTube videos. Joking, of course. And Leader of No One, don't have a clue who it is. Okay, so watches I wouldn't even know the name of /buy. So let's get into it then. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a niche, right, for your agency service, right? Let's just call it that. Growth operators, really mad in the comments, but okay, let's just say everyone's an agency for argument's sake. And you're going to pick a niche. Why? Number 1, because it's going to help you be more efficient with your outreach. And number 2, in your outreach, you're going to appeal to a set of pains and current situations that people want to move away from. And usually niches group that similar group of people together, and they have similar pain points and stuff they want to get solved in the business. So, it's just going to make you more efficient with your outreach because you're going to be sending similar messages and you don't have to change stuff up too much. So I would pick a specific niche. Now, you don't need to go super specific and be like, I'm only going to work with, and list off all these requirements, right? By niche, I mean, you could maybe work with fitness coaches. You could maybe work with personal development coaches, right? And that could be a ton of different, different actual types of offers you could work with. You might work with people in the biz op space. You could specialize and go after maybe e-commerce business coaches. That could be something that you specialize in. But we don't need to overthink it too much. So let's pick a niche that we want to go after. I'm going to go after one that I've never really done. I had one client in this space back in 2020, so it's not something I'm familiar with. So I'm doing this in real time. I haven't preloaded any tabs that would probably make this video perform better and a better experience for you guys to watch, because you're not having to sit and wait for me to think about stuff, but I haven't thought that far ahead. So we're going to go with Amazon FBA. Boom, look at that, right? So you're just going to search for some keywords on YouTube about Amazon FBA. And you're going to look at the top performers in the niche, right? So I do recognize this guy, but I can't remember his name. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up all of the people who are posting about Amazon FBA. Because the reality is, if these guys are posting about Amazon FBA, then guess what? They're selling a course on it, right? They're selling a course on it. They are absolutely selling a course on it, unless they're definitely. We're all roads lead to info at the end of the day. So, right, I'm going to pick up a couple of these people, right? And I'm going to see who are the top performers, right? And the reason why I'm coming to YouTube to do this is because realistically, and for whatever service you are offering these people, whether you're doing like organic marketing for them, i.e. helping them with content creation, or you're managing the back-end operations, maybe you're doing the email marketing and the funnels, maybe you're managing the sales team, or maybe you're an advertising agency, which is kind of like the core of my agency. One thing that you always want is you want your client to be producing content. You want them to have some form of following online. You want them to have credibility and positioning that you can leverage in the space, whether you're running ads, whether it's just organically, like all of this stuff you need. And also it helps massively if your clients are good on camera, right? Again, regardless of whether you're just selling on social media, whether you're running ads, having a client that's comfortable and just ready to get on camera is the best thing ever, which is why when I started, I did this and I went after people with big YouTube channels, because I knew when I was running ads for them and I needed them to create ad videos for me, they'd be very comfortable. I remember when I was just starting out and I would work with people and they were like, no offense, God bless all my original clients that I worked with when I started out, but they were awful on camera. They were asking me tips on how to film. Me, biggest introvert in the world, can't even prepare for a YouTube video properly, and they were asking me for filming tips, and I was having to like critique their filming and speaking style, and I don't even know how to speak myself. So that was a disaster. So it's I wouldn't even say it's an unfair advantage. It is an advantage, or just something that you need if you really want to work with, if you want to scale your clients' businesses, that realistically they're going to need to get on camera. So having someone who's got a big YouTube channel is a massive plus. Now, if you're going to be helping them with organic marketing, and I'm going to be talking about offers and what to offer them and stuff when you do the outreach in a second. But if you are going to be offering, if you're going to be helping them monetize their audience, then obviously they need an audience, right? So they need to be posting on social media. With ads, they don't have to be as big on social media for you to get the results with ads. But again, it helps. Like a lot of the biggest clients that we work with, they have millions of subscribers on YouTube and, hundreds of thousands across other platforms. And it makes running ads a hell of a lot easier if they've got like a huge channel, right? So that's going to be like, and it doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be Instagram and stuff as well. But I just like YouTube. So I'm going to go to these guys' links, and I'm just going to check out to see if they are basically selling some form of like Amazon FBA course, right? I'm looking at this guy. He's got a ton of different tutorials. I think this guy is more of a general person. I don't think he's just Amazon FBA. I could be wrong. Looks like it's two guys. Don't know if they're brothers because they look pretty similar. But anyway, I'm not going to waste time doing massive amounts of research. I'm just going to get a feel of the page. And at the end of the day, like, look at the bio, innovative marketing solutions, right? They're just not an Amazon FBA coach. Whereas if you look at this guy, right, 388K subscribers, I'll teach you how to leverage Amazon FBA. Boom, right? Shopify as well, AdWords, Facebook ads, right? So he's more of a, but look at his URL, it's Amazon program. So this guy would be a pretty good person to go after initially, right? Obviously, we're going to vet him a little bit right now. But this guy, I've actually seen him stuff. Possibly I even follow him on Instagram. Defo, look, again, Amazon FBA guy, right? I don't even have to look. It's the same guy. Helping you build your personal brand, so probably not. He has got a lot of stuff about Amazon. Go to the most popular. Yeah, and he doesn't have a link, so I'll probably just get rid of this guy. Amazon Seller Society, so definitely teach you about Amazon FBA. So let me go back to this. I'm going to pick up a few more people because not all of these people are going to qualify for like a good client for us to prospect. So yeah, let's do for beginners. So I'm just going to type in some keywords. Not this guy again. Open that up. Okay, I feel like I know this guy from Twitter. Skills Panda, let's do it. All right, so we got this guy, we got this guy, we got this woman, we got this girl. Is that disrespectful? Is she a woman as well? Okay. Documenting a journey, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, started the Amazon selling journey. So obviously she's posted a year ago. Pretty cool. She's got 34K subs. So let's have a look at that. This guy, all things e-commerce. So he doesn't have any like funnel links in his bio. We'll touch on that in a second. Okay, so number one, I'm looking at these people who have some form of a social media following, okay? So online e-commerce, maybe this guy would be good as well. So that's number one. They got to have some form of like following. They got to be some form of influencer in the niche. Now what we need to do is make sure that they have a funnel, right? We need to make sure that they have a course that they are selling. So if we go back, we're going to click on the URL of this guy. Boom, join my free Amazon FBA course. Okay, so this guy's, I know this is free, but it's defo going to be selling something on the back end, right? There we go. Perfect. So he's in. This guy, he's got a Calendly link. So this guy's just hardcore closing on the phone, baby. Yeah, I do actually know this guy a little bit. Okay, so you can just, if you can't find the link for the funnel on the homepage of the YouTube profile, it's not a profile, channel, then you can just go to one of the latest YouTube videos, and the reality is that they're definitely going to have some form of link there. There we go, right? Boom. Cool. This one, this is more like a Middle East specific. I don't know, I'm just not going to go with this one. No offense to the Middle East, I live here, but yeah. She's got like an ebook, apply to be my mentee, right? So she's selling this for $125. Ugh, God. What is this? This is horrible. All right. Well, she got a funnel at least, right? So for me, it depends where you're at in your journey. Maybe it'd be worth you reaching out to this person because she could probably do with a lot of help. I don't know how much money she's making, but yeah. This guy, any links? No links there. Why he stopped Amazon FBA, so he's probably... Why I stopped Amazon FBA, but join my Amazon FBA course. Yep. Cool. 100K a year Amazon business. Is that revenue? Because those margins are bad. All right. So this guy's got a funnel. I'm going to try and make this video a little bit quicker. So let's see this guy. Boom. See, even if they don't have it on the channel, they're definitely just going to have a funnel. There we go. See, and they're all pretty much similar, right? There we go. All right, cool. So we got a good amount here. So now we have to basically, what I would do, I would reach out to these guys because they're an influencer and they've got a funnel, right? So they're already selling a course. Now, I would, depending on what service I'm going to offer, I would reach out to these people, depending on what I see on these pages, right? So this is what most people do. They get it this completely wrong when they're doing their outreach. They'll go to these guys, right? They'll message this guy and they'll be like, hey man, we guarantee to increase your funnel conversion rate by 10% or your money back. Blah, 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 right? Some BS $100 million offer. I'll increase the conversions of your landing page, guaranteed, or I'll give you money back and $500 for wasting your time. Hey man, I just checked out your content. Really great content, by the way. I just see some easy, low-hanging fruit for us to optimize and increase your conversions on your funnel page, right? Blah, 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 right? You're going in and you're offering to improve what they're currently doing. Going to this guy, hey man, great video content, but I can help increase your short-form content. You can see that you're not making any short-form posts. Or I can improve the short-form content. You need better thumbnails, blah, 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 right? Everything that I've just said there, that is going to be an improvement offer, okay? An improvement offer, okay? Now, if you have a lot of credibility in your space and you've got relevant case studies to the people that you're reaching out to, so if I had 5 other Amazon FBA coaches working with me at the agency, I don't, but if I did, then I would go to these people and I could pitch them an improvement offer, right? I could go to this guy, wherever he is, and I'd be like, hey man, what's your VSL? Identified some ways in which we can increase the call booking rate from the VSL. I'll guarantee blah, 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 right? And then I would list off all the people that have helped with the VSL funnel for their Amazon FBA program, right? Now, the reason why he would reply to me is not because my offer was good, it's because I have a lot of case studies and results and proof in his particular niche, right? He's not replying because of the offer. And this is what people get caught up in. They're just going to start pitching improvement offers. And what happens is none of these guys who would be worth working with, who have, and this guy's not got that big of a following, but I think he's a bit bigger on Instagram because I know him, but they'll pitch someone like this and they won't get back to them because they're pitching an improvement offer. And if this guy has already got a funnel that's making him money, or he's already got content that's making him money, then they're not going to outsource that critical business activity to a complete stranger with no credibility or proof, right? Even if you say you're going to work for free. It's not worth the risk. And we'll get into the details of this in a second. But what happens is when you can't prospect this guys, you start lowering, when you can't sign these guys as a client, you start lowering your standards. And you start going for newer people. Maybe someone who's only got, 20,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers. And before you know it, you've signed a client with your improvement offer. But guess what? They don't even have a coaching program. They hardly have any clients. They don't have any proof to work with. They don't have any leverage. They're like the worst client ever. They're an online coach with less than, 500 people on the email list, but you've pitched them to make them more money from their email list. But how are you going to make them more money if they've only got 500 people on it, right? Or they might find someone who's running ads. They'll find someone who isn't running ads, or they are running ads and they're not working, and they'll pitch them, hey, I'll come and improve your ad. It's all a complete mess. And what happens is when you pitch improvement offers, if you don't have any case studies or results already and you're new to the game, then all you're going to end up doing is going to the bottom of the pile and working with the bottom 50% of info product companies. And those people you don't want to work with because they don't have proven offers, they don't have case studies to leverage, they don't even know what they're doing, they've not even built a proper business, yet they're hiring you to come and be like the savior of the business. So you don't want to do that. So that begs the question, how do we get our foot in the door and work with big people like this if they're already making money and they're already successful? So you don't want to do improvement offers. What you want to do is make a bolt-on offer, right? Because when you're doing your outreach, these are the three things that you need to consider. Whoa. Cost risk, time risk, risk of impact on current activities. Okay, so, and a bolt-on offer usually has low risk in all these areas. An improvement offer usually has a lot of risk in at least 2 out of the 3 areas. So for example, if I was to go and pitch this guy and be like, hey, I can improve the YouTube videos that you have, right? Whether I'm a content production agency or a script writer or whatever it is, let's have a look at that, right? If I make him that offer, number one, it's got a huge risk of impact on current activities. This is very likely this guy's main traffic source, right? It's probably making him a decent amount of money already. Why would he outsource this to a stranger if it's already working for him? The risk of impact on current activities that are working for the business is way too high. It's too much of a risk. It's the same as if you go to this guy and you're like, let's just pretend one of these is getting people onto the email list, right? And you go and pitch him and be like, hey, I can improve your emails. If his emails are already making him a decent amount of money, then he's not going to outsource the emails to a random copywriter who's pitching him on Instagram, right? Because it's got a huge risk on current activities. So that's number one, right? Number two, you got to think about time risk. So how much time is it going to cost this person to work with you? There's always a little bit of a time risk to work with an agency because at the end of the day, you've got to onboard them, you've got to, get them onboarded and start working with them. And that in itself has a lot of time risk invested into it. But does your actual service, is that going to require a lot of time from them? So for example, if you are going to be creating emails and funnels, like how much time is it going to take for them? Are there new videos that they need to film? Are they going to have to write some of the copy? Are they going to have to constantly check new copy every single day? Are they going to have to read and approve new emails that you write every single week? If you're creating new content for them, how long is it going to take them to film the content? You've got all of this extra time that your service is going to bring to them, and that could be too much of a risk for them to engage in that activity. Again, if the business is already making money. If they're a broke coach and they're not already making money, then guess what? They've got all the time in the world and their time isn't very valuable. So they'll probably take you on for any type of project if you have like a big guarantee with it. And then we get to the cost risk. So cost risk, actually these guys, I'm going to guess are successful. These successful business owners, the one that they care least about is the cost. Yet when people do outreach, the only thing that they focus on is the cost risk. They're like, we will get you this result, all your money back, guaranteed, right? $100 million offers, just fucking jizzing everywhere over it, right? That's all they care about, reducing the cost risk. But someone who's already making a lot of money, their most valuable resource is their time. And the most important thing for them is making sure that their current business activities continue to make them money. But if you come in and you offer to improve on what they're currently doing, you have a huge risk of all of these things, right? But when people usually do outreach, they're just like, oh, we'll give you your money back if it doesn't work. So what? People with a lot of money don't care about paying money for a service. They will happily pay for a service if it works. So they're not that bothered about getting the money back. The only people who really care deeply about getting the money back are broke people who can't afford to lose any money. And guess what? You don't want to work with broke businesses because it means that the business isn't working, which means they shouldn't be hiring an agency for a marketing service. So when you're doing an outreach, you need to think about these things, okay? Cost risk, yes. If we can reduce the cost, obviously that's great, right? I'm not saying guarantees are bad, but if the only thing that you've got going for you is that you have a big audacious guarantee, then you're going to friggin' lose, right? But you got to think about the other components as well. So for me, when I first started out, right, what I did is I went to these people who already had, who were already making money. They already have a funnel or a program in place. And I basically just gave them a bolt-on offer. So a bolt-on offer, I mean, depending on how you position it, it can reduce the cost risk. It has low time risk, and it has low risk of impact on current activities. So what I did, I went to these guys, or successful YouTubers in the niche that I picked, and I basically offered to run ads for them. Now, I made sure that they weren't running ads already. So typically what you can do is you can just, a lot of these YouTubers will just link the Facebook page. So this guy is, we'll go to ads library. So I would do a quick check to see if they're running any ads. And a lot of these big people who are running ads organically, a lot of them aren't running ads a lot of the time anyway. So I'm just going to paste his name in here. I can see him here. And guess what? He's not running any ads, right? So this would be a perfect person to prospect for an ad service, okay? Why do we think that? Most people think you should only prospect people to run ads for them if they're already running ads, which is true if they're already running ads successfully and you've got a lot of credibility in their space. But if you don't, and you're new, and you don't have case studies or results, then you're going to have to do it this way. Or, yeah, this is just the best way to do it. So I would offer, Facebook ads as my service. So we got to look at the cost risk. So you can reduce the cost risk by obviously having a guarantee, or you can only get paid on performance. When I first started out, my first offer when I started prospecting like this, it was £1,500 a month and 10% of the profit that we generated with the ads. And if we didn't generate you more profit in the first 90 days than you paid us, then we'd refund you. Okay, so that was my offer. So I reduced the cost risk. Number one, most of the money that I was making would be from performance. So I only truly get paid after we made the money. So I've reduced the risk there. And then I also have a guarantee. So if we just lose them a load of money in the first 90 days, then I'm going to refund them everything that we paid for us, right? That they paid us. So I'm reducing the cost risk. Now it's not fully gone, because at the end of the day, we're still going to be spending money we're going to be sending their money on ads, and I'm not going to refund them their ad spend, right? So this isn't fully low, but again, successful business owners who have a lot of money, the cost risk is the least important to them. But I've still backed it up with a guarantee, with paid on performance, so it's a pretty good offer. Time risk, I would put very low, because I basically pitched them, and this is why it's important to find someone who's already got a funnel that's working and converting, because I basically pitch them and I say, hey, this guy, I basically say, hey, I'm going to get you customers and it's going to take no involvement from you. I'm going to run them. I would find someone with already, like this guy, for example, he's already got a funnel working, right? I would say, hey, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to create anything new. You don't need to create a new course, a new coaching program, a new funnel. I'm just going to take the funnel that you already have. I'm going to run ads to it and I'm going to get you new clients. I'm just going to get you basically on autopilot. So if that is my pitch, it's a very low time risk because they actually don't have to do anything else. I'm going to write the ads, I'm going to create the ads, I'm going to manage the ads, I'm going to send it to a funnel that they already have that sells a coaching program that they already have. For that guy, the only extra time is going to be the sales guys who take extra sales calls. Well, that's what they want. They want a full calendar. So I've reduced the time risk there because it's going to take none of their time. And then we got low or very low impact on current business activities, just making this completely up, right? It's got low impact on current business activities. Why? Because this guy's traffic or whatever, whichever one I want to prospect, whether it's from YouTube or Instagram. Sorry. God, video is too long. Told you it's going to be a bit hectic. This guy's traffic is just coming from YouTube and it's going to this funnel. I'm going to run ads. I'm just going to duplicate this funnel. So it's going to run alongside it separately, and I'm going to run ads to that. It's going to have absolutely no impact on his current business activities. It's not going to have any impact on his YouTube performance, his Instagram performance, his organic performance. We're not going to be messing with his current email list. Everything's going to stay the same in his business. The only thing that's going to be different is that alongside everything, we're going to be running ads and we're going to get him more clients. So even if we completely fuck up, everything else in his business is going to work exactly the same. And it's probably going to work better because we're going to be running ads, and a percentage of those people that opt in and the people that see the ads are probably going to search for him on Instagram and YouTube. So the ads themselves are probably going to grow his organic following, and probably people will go through there and buy organically, even though they originally came from the ads. So we're going to grow his brand organically, even with the ads. But that's like a side benefit. The main benefit is that it's not going to interrupt anything that they're currently doing. So this is the problem when you go and pitch someone who's already running ads and you're like, hey, let me improve your ads. That has a huge risk on current business activities because they're already running ads, and if they're already working for them, then they don't want to risk outsourcing it to a stranger inside the DM with no social proof or credibility. Even if they say, oh, I'll give you your money back if it doesn't work. The fact that you could mess up their ad account that's already making the money means it's a no-go. It's the same again. If I went to this guy and I'm like, oh, I can improve your VSL, right? Why do I always click on that one? If this is already making him money, then he's not going to outsource it to a complete beginner, right? Who's got no case studies or results. So it has a huge impact on current business activities. So this is what I would do. So when you're writing out your bolt-on offer, this is what you need to think about. And if you can at least tick off 2 out of 3, the best case scenario is if you have obviously very low on all of these. The second best case scenario is if you have very low on these 2 and fairly low on this. You can charge a price, but if you have like a guarantee and stuff, obviously that makes sense, right? So this is what you want to do. And you can do this it doesn't just have to be Facebook ads. You can, depending on the client and what they're currently doing, you can do it for email marketing services, content creation services, funnel services, sales management services. You've got to do a little bit of research into what, activities the client is currently doing, so you can try and position yourself as a bolt-on offer, right? And if this guy was already running Facebook ads, then guess what? I'm not going to outreach to him with a bolt-on offer of Facebook ads because that wouldn't be a bolt-on offer. So that's what I would do. Then very simply, I'm just going to DM, and I'm going to do DM on IG and Facebook plus email. So for a lot of these guys, I've just showed you here that a lot of them will have Instagram and Facebook linked in the YouTube bio. Pretty much all of them do. So it's very easy to find their Facebook and their Instagram. And then here, you should be able to view their email address. So if I press, let's be honest, this video is going to be about 10 views. So I don't think this guy is going to matter if I share his email address because it's public info anyway. But I would just press submit here, and you'd be able to see his email. And I would basically email him as well. Now, if he doesn't have his email there, then you can just go to his funnel, and guess what? You just opt into his funnel. Hopefully it's going to ask me there we go. I'm going to type in my email address, I'm going to join, and then I'm just going to reply to that first email I get and prospect him, okay? So that's a very easy way to sign. That's the easy thing about, these online businesses. They're all collecting email addresses for their newsletter and email list, and you just reply to that email list. The email I've seen less success with. Pretty much all my clients came from Instagram DM, but I also got a decent response rate from Facebook. Email was a little bit less responsive. Usually it's like a customer service rep. So, but I still do it anyway because, why not? It takes about a second. So that's how I would outreach to these people. And then I'd basically ask them ask for them permission basically to inquire about the coaching program. So in the first message, I just want to make sure that they're active on that platform. So I would message them, maybe asking them a question about their story or their Instagram just to get a reply. And once I know they're active and they're responding to DMs, then I would send them the pitch. So I would basically send them, step 1, and you can do this as of today. Actually, step 1, gather list of prospects, which we just did. We got all those people on YouTube. Step 2, DM and email to get a response. Actually, to be honest, what I would do in the beginning is I would just DM them. And then if they replied, I would then maybe, if they didn't reply, I would maybe try email. So I'd DM to begin with, just because I found Instagram gets the best response rates, right? So you DM to get a response. Again, ask them a question about the story that they posted or the program or the content that they just produced. And make it sound like you're interested in what they're doing, so they're going to reply to that. Then step 3, you want to send a Loom pitch, okay? And this is going to be like a 5 to 10 minute video where you basically pitch them on their service. So the good news is if you've already crafted your bolt-on offer, then you're just going to pitch them this. And this makes it a no-brainer. Low cost risk, low time risk, no risk on current business activities, but you can guarantee, you can offer them like, hey, I can get you new clients or whatever your offer is. That's very good. If you've done the bolt-on offer correctly, then for most of these people, it's going to be a no-brainer. So with the Loom video, it's actually pretty simple. So I would basically, in the beginning, I would basically start with the big offer. Well, this is a great YouTube video. I've just not spoke for about 10 seconds as I'm typing. So I would start my Loom video with like a big offer. So like, hey, I got a question about this. The reason why I'm asking this question is because blah, 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 right? And then you'd basically go and make them the offer. Like, hey, I can help you get clients. I can help you grow your coaching program. I can help you get clients with your coaching program, blah, blah, blah. I can help you increase this or whatever it is, right? You first get their offer to get their attention. And then what I did was I connected to the pain and the problems. So most people basically just give them a big offer and they're like, we'll give you your money back if it doesn't work. But that doesn't really create connection. And look, you don't need to go and write like a big direct response script for these people, but you do need to show them that you understand them. And you need to show them that you understand their business and their customer. So like one of the best feedbacks that we got from when I did outreach was people would say like, oh, I replied because you sounded like you got my business. You sounded like you have a good understanding of where I'm at. And this is why it's good to do a niche and target one particular type of client because they experience very similar problems. So for example, for me and my clients, they were in like a softer personal development space. They wasn't in like an Amazon FBA BizOp. And I knew that a lot of the people in that space, they weren't running ads. So number 1, that's why I chose that niche. Number 2, in that space, a lot of them were pretty big on YouTube. A lot of them, had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But the problem with someone that grows their business primarily just by creating YouTube videos is that they become a slave to the algorithm. And if they didn't constantly create content, and if they weren't like a content machine with YouTube, then the business would stop growing. So I knew that was a huge pain point. So I would position myself coming in with an ads bolt-on offer of like, hey, I can help you grow your company without you having to be a content machine. You don't have to constantly stress every week to create new content on such a strict schedule because I'm going to help you grow your business with these ads, and it's going to take no time from you. It's not going to impact what you're currently doing, but it's just going to get you new clients and customers and help you grow your company. So I was appealing to their like big pain points. Now, these Amazon FBA guys, compared to my customer were a bit softer. They weren't the get up and hustle and grind type of people. People in the Amazon FBA space, they might be like, nah, fuck this. I love working 12 hours a day. Let's pump volume. Let's get clients. Give me stuff to do. Like I need to work, right? So like me coming in and being like, oh, I'm going to give you your time back and, you don't have to be a content machine anymore. Some people might be like, no, I want to be a content machine. Like I just want to sit and film content every single day. That's what I want to do, right? I want to push volume, get leads through. So you got to be careful with how you position it, depending on the person that you're speaking to. So that's why it was good for me to go into that softer, more personal development niche on YouTube, because I knew they were all very similar types of people who didn't really like to push and force and work 12 hours a day. So I came in and positioned myself as a person that was going to grow their company without any extra work from them and without them fully relying on basically creating content. So that's number one. Number two, I also knew that for people who are just running, for the people in that space specifically, there wasn't a ton of high ticket coaching programs. A lot of these people would make like $100 course or a $500 course or a $1,000 course, and they wouldn't have like a sales team closing people on the calendar like what we showed in today's video. They would have just people going to a sales page. So the way they would sell these programs is basically through launches. So I knew basically what would happen with their revenue. They would create something new. They would launch the course to their audience. Revenue would go up. And then when the launch finished and the next month, revenue would go back down. And they'd either have to wait a few more months to launch the course again and hopefully get a spike in revenue, but then again, it would go back down. Or they'd have to create a completely brand new product or course and launch that to their audience to get that spike in revenue. So for a lot of the people I was prospecting, I knew, and I used to work for one of these people. This is why I knew what the business looked like on the inside. It would spike up, it would go back down. It'd spike up and it'd go back down. And not only were they a content machine, so they had to constantly pump out new YouTube videos every single week to grow their audience, but they had to pump out launches every month in order to make money. So I knew that was a big pain point. So again, in the messaging in the Loom video, I appealed to that and I spoke to that and was like, hey, look, I know this is what your business looks like. What we're going to do when you run ads, you're running ads every single day, you're getting new customers and clients, and going back into the whole spiel. This is what I used to say on the Loom video. With running ads, you're running ads every single day, you're getting customers and clients every single day. So instead of like an up and down trajectory like this, we can actually grow your company like this. Right? I used to actually say that on the video, right? So I used to speak to the pain point of inconsistent growth, high 1 month, low month the next, and say that we can steadily grow the business without it going up and down like that. So that's just like a taster of like what you have to speak to. Obviously, for your ideal customer, you would have to go out and find what that would be. If you were going to do like a bolt-on offer like I did, one good thing, this isn't a necessity, but one thing that you could do, and actually this is a kind of a good time to do it, is you want to find someone who has a large organic market audience. If you're running ads for them, what you want to do is find someone that is actually on a decline in terms of views. So if you can find someone's YouTube account and you notice that a year ago, their average view count on a video was a lot higher than it is now, then you know they're feeling that. These YouTubers, they live and die by their YouTube analytics. They're looking at the views and subscribers every single day. So the fact is, if someone's been in a decline for about 12 months, they're hurting inside. And their business isn't doing as well as what it was a year ago. And because of that, they're going to be more open to help them grow. So you can be that person. Especially around in COVID, so in 2020 and 2021, views on YouTube skyrocketed, right? Because everyone was at home. So what you found is in 2020 and 2021, during that time, you had all of these people to start posting on YouTube, and they were getting hundreds of thousands of views. And now the world has gone back to normal. Just naturally, everyone's view count has come down. So a lot of these big influencers who were growing during those years, right now they're not growing as fast, and their channel is actually on the decline. And that's good, because we can come in and position ourselves as someone who is going to help them grow, who is going to help them get new customers, new people that have never heard of them before, bring them into their business's ecosystem and turn them into a client, right? So that's your pitch. So if you can find someone whose videos are on a decline a little bit and you know that their organic marketing isn't working as well as it once was, then they're going to be so open to getting help with advertising to help them get new people. If someone is in like a huge spike, and the organic content's popping off, they might go for the ads bolt-on offer, but they're going to be less open to it because they're going to probably want to lean into what's currently working for them. Now, that's just for like an ads bolt-on offer. If I was going to be helping someone with their email marketing, or I'm going to be building them a funnel for the first time, it's actually better to find someone in an incline. So if you can find, typically on Instagram, if you can find someone whose maybe reels have just started to go viral, you'll see that on Instagram, they won't have like a funnel link in their bio. And that's because they've blown up, they don't have any business infrastructure, and they don't know how to, build an email list or build a funnel, and they've just got like a one-on-one coaching link in their bio. If you can find those people whose videos are just going viral and they don't have any like marketing infrastructure, then they are perfect to prospect for a bolt-on offer for like email marketing or funnel services. Because again, if we look at that, it is the cost risk is low, so you could get paid on performance. You could get paid a percentage of what your emails generate for them. It's low time risk for them because you're going to write all the emails, you're going to build the funnel, you're going to set everything up. So it's going to take little to no time from them. And it's got no risk of impact on current business activities because they don't have an email list or a sales funnel, right? They just have a one-on-one link to a Calendly. So that is a perfect bolt-on offer for that type of person. And if you get someone who is just going viral, it's likely that they don't have the marketing infrastructure and they're going to be very, very open to the help. So that's basically the game plan. So you could do this literally today as you watch this video. You could also pitch all of these people, right? Now, very likely tomorrow, well, actually, no. When I used to do this, I used to basically wake up and I used to gather a list of prospects in the morning, and then straight after that, I would message them. Then at about 4 p.m. towards the end of my working day, I would go back into the messages and I would see the people who replied and I would send them a Loom pitch. And I'd basically get them, book them in a call for the next day, and I would close. And that's what I would do. So that's how you can actually sign your next client, whether it's a Facebook ad client or a different service client, in the next 48 hours. Do long, personalized outreach to the right type of client. I always say it's about offering the right offer, which is a bolt-on offer, to the right type of client, which is some of the people we talked about today, but you need to position it in the right way. And that's what I talked about here. So you're going to make an offer to grab their attention. You're going to do what I just talked about, connecting to the pain point and problem, and provide and position you as the solution. So your service is a solution. And then you run through the bolt-on offer. So you basically give them the offer and you tell them, hey, it's not going to take up any of your time. It's not going to impact anything that you're currently doing. And also, we only get paid on performance and there's a guarantee, blah, 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 right? So big, sexy offer in the beginning to get their attention. Do what I just said there, and then go through the details of the bolt-on offer to basically alleviate any risk. So you want the right offer, which is a bolt-on offer, to the right type of person, and you need to position it in the right way, which is basically, what we did in this Loom video. And I literally did this, and I sent less than 200 messages, and I believe I signed 4 clients for my bolt-on offer. So you could send 200 messages this week if you really wanted to. I was only sending about 5 to 10 a day max, and I signed 4 clients with this bolt-on offer that I kind of like walked you through before. So I completely changed, and look, it didn't make me a millionaire, but it got me about £6,000 in retainer every single month. So that's about $8,000 US. And about 8.5. So it's getting close to the 100K a year mark if you extrapolate it out over a year. But I had 10% of profit as well. So in the coming months, we did launches and we ran the ads for the clients and we got paid a profit percentage as well. So I very quickly built an entire agency of just sending 200 messages a day. And that's what happens when you follow this process and you target the right people with the right offer. You don't need to send 1,000 cold emails. You don't need to send 1,000 messages. You can just do this and you can make money. So that's it. Long video. Is it possibly the longest YouTube video I've made? Potentially. But yeah, I'll stop speaking now. Hopefully you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.